that 1 by root 2 is irrational. In this exercise, 4 marks compulsory question. Okay, 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay, this is indirect method. Indirect method means, okay, for example, 1 by root 2 is irrational. We have to prove 1 by root 2 is irrational. Now, first let us assume that 1 by root 2 is not irrational. Not irrational means it's a rational number. Okay, now comparing with the rational numbers, okay, it's okay, contradict fact that, okay, it is contrary. Okay, then 1 by root 2 is irrational. Like this, okay, indirect method. Okay, first let us assume that 1 by root 2 is rational. 1 by root 2 is rational. Okay, what is the rational form? Okay, let 1 by root 2 equals to a by b. Okay, where a comma b are co-primes. Okay, now reciprocal, right? It's reciprocal. Root 2 equals to b by a. Okay, root 2 equals to b by a. If a comma b any integer, okay, b by a is rational. Okay, if a comma b is any integer, b by a is rational, and so root 2 is also rational. Okay, RHS is rational. Okay, if RHS is rational means LHS is also rational. Okay, b by a is rational. Okay, and so root 2 is also rational. But contradict fact that okay, root 2 is irrational. Okay, what is real? Root 2 is not rational, irrational. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? Root 2, 1 by root 2 is rational is our assumption. Therefore, 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay? Prove that root 3 plus root 5 is irrational. Okay, let us assume that it is indirect method. Indirect method means first here what is given irrational. Okay, we have to prove irrational. Okay, let us assume that root 3 plus root 5 is rational. Root 3 plus root 5 is rational. What is rational form? Root 3 plus let root 3 plus root 5 equals to a by b. Now rational form where a comma b are what is integers. What are integers? Positive values, 0 and negative values. Now squaring on both sides. Root 3 plus root 5 whole square. Okay, 2-3 methods there. Okay, I will explain one method. Okay, root 3 plus root 5 whole square equals to a by b whole square. Suppose another method, root 5 changes and squaring on both sides. Otherwise, root 3 changes. Okay, squaring on both sides. Okay, 3 methods there. Okay, root 3 plus, this is easy method. Root 3 plus root 5 whole square equals to a by b whole square. A plus b whole square formula, a square plus b square plus 2ab, 2 into root 3 into root 5 equals to a square by b square. Square root 2 cancel. 3 plus 5 plus 2 into root 3 into 5, root 15 equals to a square by b square. 8 plus 2 into root 15 equals to a square by b square. Okay, 2 root 15 equals to a square by b square plus 8 changes minus 8. 2 root 15 equals to a square minus 8b square by b square. Okay, now root 15 equals to a square minus 8b square by, here 2 is multiplication, now changes division. Okay, 2b square. Now here, if a comma b are any integers, a square minus 8b square by 2b square is rational, and so root 15 is also rational. And that means if a comma b are any integers, RHS value is, suppose you take a and b both any two values, okay, any two integers, okay, in a square minus 8b square by 2b square value is rational number. Okay, if RHS is rational and LHS is also rational, okay, and so root 15 is also rational, but contradicts fact that okay, root 15 is irrational. Okay, but here root 15 is rational, but contradict fact that real, what is real? Root 15 is irrational. Okay, therefore our assumption is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? Root 3 plus root 5 is rational is our assumption. Root 3 plus root 5 is irrational. Third one, 6. Prove that 6 plus root 2 is irrational. Okay. First one, let us assume that 6 plus root 2 is rational. Now rational form is, let 6 plus root 2 equals to a by b, where a comma b are integers. A comma b are integers. Now 6 changes, root 2 equals to a by b plus 6 changes minus 6. Now LCM b, a into 1, a minus 6 into b, 6b by b. Okay, if a comma b are any integers, RHS value a minus 6b by b is rational, and so root 2, suppose RHS is rational, LHS is also rational automatically. Root 2 is also rational, but contradicts fact that root 2 is irrational. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, what is our assumption? 6 plus root 2 is rational is our assumption. Therefore, 6 plus root 2 is irrational, not rational. That means irrational. 5 is irrational. First one, let us assume that root 5 is rational. Now root 5 equals to, let root 5 equals to a by b. Here a comma b are co-primes. Single root given, that is we take co-primes. Now root 5 equals to a by b, squaring on both sides. Root 5 whole square equals to a by b whole square. Okay. phi equals to a square by b square. Now cross multiplication. Phi b square equals to a square. Now this is standard form. Okay, b square equals to a square by phi. Okay, that means phi divides a square and phi divides a also. Okay, phi divides a square. Okay, suppose you take a square value, suppose a square is divided by phi, a is also divided by phi. Okay, now here phi b square equals to a square, put a equals to phi c. Okay, a equals to phi c. Phi b square equals to phi c whole square. Phi b square equals to 25 c square. Okay, now cutting phi 1s are, phi 5s are. B square equals to phi c square. Okay, b square equals to phi c square. B square by phi equals to c square. Here phi divides b square and phi divides b also. Okay, if phi divides b square and phi divides b also. Here phi divides a square and phi divides a also. Okay, phi divides b also. Okay, therefore phi divides a and b. Okay, therefore that is phi divides a and b means phi is a common factor of a and b. Phi is a common factor of a and b means, okay, here what is, we take a comma b are co-primes. Okay, a comma b are co-primes means, okay, only one factor. For example, 2 and 3 are co-primes. 2 and 3 are co-primes means, okay, 2, okay, common factor is only one. Okay, one is a common factor, that is the co-primes. Okay, but here common factor of a and b, but contradict fact that a comma b are co-primes. Okay, a comma b are co-primes. What is co-primes? Only one is a common factor. Okay, one is a common factor. But here phi is a common factor of a and b. Phi is a common factor of a and b. Co-primes means only one is a common factor. Here phi is a common factor of both a and b. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? Here root phi is rational is our assumption. Okay, therefore root phi is irrational. Okay, root phi is an irrational. So 2 root phi is irrational, and same all common process. Let us assume that, okay, 3 plus 2 root phi is not irrational, and that is rational. What is rational form? Let 3 plus 2 root phi equals to a by b. Here two terms are there, that is a comma b are integers. A comma b are integers. Only single letter, that is co-primes. Here two terms there means a comma b are integers. Now 2 root phi as it is, a by b. Now plus 3 changes, okay, minus 3. 2 root phi equals to LCM. 1 into a minus b into minus 3, minus 3b. Okay, next root phi equals to a minus 3b. Here 2 is multiplication, now changes division, that is 2b. Okay, right, start. If a comma b are any integer value, okay, A minus 3b by 2b is rational. A comma b, any value substitute in this a minus 3b by 2b is rational number. And so RHS is rational means automatic LHS is also rational. Root 5 is also rational. Okay, but contradicts fact that what is real. Okay, root 5 is irrational, not rational. But here, what you have to prove? Root 5 is rational. Okay, but contradict fact that root 5 is irrational. So our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? 3 plus 2 root 5 is rational is our assumption. Therefore, 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Prove that root p plus root q is irrational. Okay, same model. Let us assume that okay, root p plus root q is rational. What is rational form? Let root p plus root q equals to a by b, where a comma b are integers. Now squaring on both sides. Okay, root p plus root q whole square equals to a by b whole square. A plus b whole square formula a square plus b square plus 2ab, 2 into root p into root q equals to a square by b square. Square root 2 cancel. P plus q plus 2 into root p into root q and root pq equals to a square by b square. Okay, 2 into root pq equals to a square by b square plus p plus q changes minus p minus q. Okay, 2 root pq equals to LCM b square a square minus p into b square bb square minus q into b square qb square. Okay, root pq equals to a square minus pb square minus qb square by 2 is the multiplication. Now division 2b square. Okay, here if a comma b are two integers or any two integers. Okay, now RHS value a square minus pb square minus qb square by 2b square is rational. Okay, and so root pq is also rational. Minus pb square minus qb square by 2b square is rational, and so root pq is also rational. Okay, but contradict fact that root pq is irrational. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, root p plus root q is irrational.